Hi family! Thank you so much for tuning in to my vlog. This is I am Ashley Monique Knapp vlogs, and this is my lupus story, how I was diagnosed and like everything that happens. And be warned, one thing about lupus is that you don't have a good memory, so let's hope I can get through this. So I was pregnant with Sarai. She's 3 now, so 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. And I was having really bad kidney pain that was like debilitating. I was like on bed rest for basically half of my pregnancy. I was really sick all the time. And then after she was born, I was so sick that when I was pregnant, they put me on hydrocodone while I was pregnant. And then Sarai came out having like little tiny withdrawals from it. But I remember that, and that made me feel like a terrible person, but I literally couldn't do anything about it. I was in so much pain. It was unbearable. I begged my doctor every day to like deliver me early because I was so sick. And so after Sarai was born, I noticed that I got this really like severe rash under my chest. It was terrible. Like, it lasted for like 2 weeks, and I was like, what the heck is this? Like, why do I have this rash? What kind of rash is this? This is weird. I didn't think nothing of it. I definitely didn't think of lupus. I really didn't. I mean, my mother died of lupus, but my fear was that I would get it, but I guess I never thought it would really happen, because that should have been a red flag right there that something was going on inside of my body. And so, what happened? My kidney pain was still there. I went to the doctor up here. Sorry. So I was born in Texas. We moved from Texas a little after she was born to Idaho. So I went to the doctor in Coeur d'Alene and to see, like, hey, my kidneys are hurting. Can you please see if there's something going on? So she ran some tests, and she saw that I had a lot of protein in my urine, like way more than you should ever have. She was just like, you need to get into the nephrologist as soon as possible. So that's what I did. They called me, the nephrologist called me, they got me in as soon as they could. And so she said, oh, well, sometimes, you just have protein in your urine and it's normal. We don't treat it. There's really nothing you can do about it. But if it's like a lot of protein, then we would have to start treatment. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm sure it's not a lot. Even though the lady was kind of like, you need to get in soon. It was just like in my head, like, I can't believe that it's a lot. So we get the urine test back, and the nephrologist is like, whoa, we need to do a kidney biopsy right now because you have way too much protein in your urine. So I never had heard of a kidney biopsy. So I looked it up, of course, and I completely freaked myself out. And I guess it was right that I freaked myself out, because I had to have, in this whole process, I had to have 2 kidney biopsies, and they were both terrible. So they are very painful. And so, and they don't knock you out. They say that they put you to sleep, but they didn't put me to sleep, honey. I was awake and I felt it. It hurt. And afterwards, after the kidney biopsy, the recovery, because my ridiculous surgeon somehow nicked my lung, so I couldn't breathe, and that was painful. And then my kidney was hurting. It was a bad time. It was a very depressing time for me. I was very depressed. And so she finally gets the results back from the kidney biopsy, and it says lupus nephritis. And somehow she didn't believe that it was lupus nephritis, because my ANA was negative. Like, I don't think it's even close to being positive. And it's still not positive. And I have full-blown lupus. So your ANA does not have to be positive to have lupus, because if the biopsy came back and said that I have lupus nephritis, then I have lupus nephritis, And so, of course, I was like so sad, and I was like, oh no, I'm going to die like my mom. Like, this is scary. I'm like really terrified. It was a very depressed time for me, and I had really bad anxiety. I don't think I had anxiety one time before when I was pregnant with Chloe, and I was driving. There was a big truck coming, and then I was scared to drive because of my anxiety, but I had gotten over that. But now, because of this disease, I have severe anxiety. Like, it's pretty bad. Like, sometimes I can't even sleep. I have to take sleeping pills. But so then that came back. So then, oh, girl, they put me on prednisone. They put me on Cellcept to see if that would work, and that was so. I was on prednisone. I've just got off prednisone, and I will never go back on prednisone because it is literally the devil. It did nothing good for me. It was all bad, and the Cellcept as well. They tried Plaquenil, that didn't work. So I had to go and do chemo because nothing was working for my kidneys. So they made me go do chemo once a month for 6 months. And that was really hard. I had some really weird sicknesses. Like during that time, I'd get in my neck and up here these really bad muscle spasms that were, they were so bad. I drove myself to the hospital because they were so bad. And I was so dehydrated because all this medicine dehydrates you. And of course I don't drink enough water. And they couldn't find a vein, guys. And so they had to drill into my arm with a drill to my bone marrow to put an IV. And I was like, have y'all lost? That was painful. I said, you can't. And that didn't even work. It didn't even work because it hurt so bad they had to take it out. And so I left and went home. And when I was driving home, I was like, like this and stuff. And my neck was spasming and I couldn't, I was crying. It was not a good time. It's late at night. It's not late at night. It's 8 o'clock, but it's late for me, baby. I go to sleep early. Anyways, so that was a really weird side effect of Cytoxin. Another thing is I had no bladder control a lot of the time. Honestly, to be honest with y'all, I'll pee on myself because my bladder, it wouldn't work. The muscle, I couldn't get the muscle to work, and that was all from Cytoxin. So that was another weird symptom. And from either, I think it was the Cytoxin, my knees would get super swollen. Then these shooting pains would go through them, and I wasn't able to walk at all on my legs. So there was some very weird symptoms with prednisone and with Cytoxin. And then, so the Cytoxin didn't work, and the doctors were just like, what in the world is going on? She's not responding to any of this medicine. And I'm thinking, what is happening? Why is my body not, getting better? I feel worse than I've ever felt in my life before I even knew I had lupus. I just had the kidney pain. And compared to this stuff, I really just have the kidney pain, And so then they tried Rituxan, but my insurance didn't approve it. And then my rheumatologist put in that I need to be on Rituxan, and then they approved it. And so I got that infusion, the first one in the hospital. Oh yeah, so I was in the hospital and had an allergic reaction the first time. And then they did it a second time. The first time I only got 1 dose. They did it a second time and I didn't have allergic reaction. It worked perfectly. And now my kidney function is normal, but I still have a whole lot of protein in my urine. The protein amount hasn't changed. It's a lot of protein. I don't even remember. I mean, if I had my phone, I could look it up, but I don't remember exactly how much, but it was a lot. At one time, it was like 6,700 and high numbers, really high numbers of protein. But my kidney function is back in the normal range, so thank God for that. And I'm just praying that it stays normal. But my lupus is just out of control. I have extreme joint pain and fatigue and migraines. And my finger randomly just got this swollen. I mean, it's just really weird stuff with lupus. But I'm doing Dr. Brooke Goldner's protocol, and I'm gonna be honest, guys, I absolutely hate it. I hate drinking that disgusting smoothie every day. It's hard for me because I have acid reflux disease. I can't drink big amounts of things, and it's disgusting. No matter what I put in it, it tastes disgusting to me, and it's just really hard. And this vegan thing, I'm black. Okay, I'm African American. We eat meat. We eat barbecue. We eat chicken. I miss meat. I miss dairy. I miss it all. I don't miss dairy. I miss cheese. I don't miss milk because I read how horrible milk is for you. I know that meat and dairy is bad for you too, but whatever. Let me have some chicken with some cheese on it, please. So that's my lupus story. I've only been diagnosed for about a year, maybe a year and a half. And it's been a terrible year, a very, very bad year, because I've just been so sick. And it's sad because I have 3 beautiful children that I homeschool. and my sickness takes me away from them, you know, like even today. And that's why I decided to record this video right now, because I am sick today. Look how sick my face look. My joints are killing me. I'm having a flare. And so I said, let me sit down and record my lupus story, because I think it's important, and I think people want to know, like, you know, want to know that stuff. And there's people out, women and men out there, and children that have lupus and are looking for help, you know, to see if they really have it, or they want to know what you went through because you have it. And I just want to be a light. I just want to shine God's light, you know. So thank you so much for listening, me rambling on and on. You know I like to talk. But thanks for listening, and I will see you in our next video. Love you. Bye.